Welcome back to Great North Gaming. It's great to have you here with us today, and it's time to continue our Vancouver Canucks franchise mode up here at the beginning of year number 6. So if you missed the last video, we made some small changes more to our fourth line and bringing in some veterans. I think this is what we really needed on this team. And we have a lot of X factors now on that fourth line, so that's a +5 fourth line. The rest of our chemistry isn't looking too good on our offensive core, but we can talk with these guys and try to get some scheme fit going for them. Taking a look at our defensive core, we have Hughes and Jennings, Hughes and Danford, and Korpian and Silviev. So some good chemistry there, +4, and +1 there. Power plays still the same there. We got all of our big guns there. Power play number 2, just our secondary scores there. And in the net, we have Lascelles and Medvedev. So, if you're new to the series, we're trying to build a dynasty here in Vancouver. That has been our goal. We haven't won a Stanley Cup yet. So, taking a look, the first year we missed the playoffs. We went into a bit of a rebuild. We made it back to the playoffs. We lost in the first round. And then 2 years ago now, we made it to the Western Conference Final. And that was the year that we were really trying to win the Stanley Cup. But, we took it as, that was some good growth, and now we can really push for the Stanley Cup. We made it to the Stanley Cup Final last year, but we ended up losing to Elias Pettersson and the Montreal Canadiens. So we kind of regret that trade now. But, heading into this year, we have some question marks. So there's a couple issues with this team. So first of all, we have quite a lot of RFAs coming up this year. So we have Michael Hagg, Kindle, Silviev, Boone Jenner, these guys are our UFAs. In the system, though, we also have Samuel Holt. And yeah, he's asking for like $2 million, but he hasn't really done much for us. And we have about $4 million in extension dollars. And then the following year is when we have to sign Ryan Leonard and Luke Hughes to their big-time contracts. So this team is really only going to be able to stay together this year. I feel like I've been saying that for a while. I didn't know how long we were going to be able to keep this team together. We've got lucky with some good contracts. But now we have Jack Hughes making 14.5. Austin's making 16.5. Nico's making 13. And then Quinn is making 17.6. Luke is going to be at least making 10. So, we got Jennings on a good deal, which is great. But this is a do-or-die year. So I was taking a look at our team, and we've never really been complete buyers. We'll maybe make a few additions, but we have a really good team. So we never really think to make any adjustments. So I was taking a look around the league, and this might be a trade that we come to regret in the future. But I saw here Ridley Gregg is available for the Ottawa Senators. So it looks like he's going to fit on the third forward line. I sent out the scout to scout him for a couple days. So we can know his scheme fit here. But he's got another X factor. He's 87. And the thing that I like about him is he's 3.1 for the next 2 years. So if we can get Ottawa to retain, we can pay. I don't mind paying a little bit extra to get them to retain. We can give up our first round pick this year. We can even look at trading a prospect. We have a lot of assets because we haven't traded away our draft picks. We've drafted strongly. We've built up, let me show you here. So we've built up quite the prospect pool here. So we have all of our draft picks for this year, plus some depth draft picks. Goalies, we have Medvedev that we can move off of because he's only got 2 years left at 1.3 because we also signed Moishevich in the offseason to a 3-year deal at 1.2. He's playing down in the AHL right now, but he could easily be the backup goaltender to Lascelles. Defensively, we just drafted this guy, Fairchild. He's a late-round draft pick. We drafted him this year, but we could move off of him if we want to as well. Nope, I didn't mean to back out there. And then forward prospects, We just drafted Vokpolti. He was our third overall draft pick this year. We were able to move up in the draft this year, which was great. Samuel Holt's someone that I wouldn't mind moving off of. We have Curry down here. We have Robbins. So we have so many elite prospects and just good prospects in general that I'm more than willing to move off of to try to win us that Stanley Cup. We need to at least win one before we have to give Luke Hughes his contract extension. So let's hop up to the start of the regular season, and we will take a look at that Ridley Gregg trade right away, because if we can start building that chemistry, and I'm more than willing to do that. So let's hop to the regular season. So we have our coaching conversation here with Craig Berube. So what's the season goal for this year? Compete for the Cup. Yes, I agree. And then preseason focus, let's focus on the 5v5 focus, because especially with the veterans on the team, I want to make sure we're keeping their overalls up this year, especially on that fourth line. We'll see you in preseason. Okay, so we're up here at the beginning of the regular season, but before that, is he still on the block? So maybe, oh, he is. Ridley Gregg. Did we get a full scouting report on this man? Fits on the second line. Okay, I am more than willing to do this trade right now. They can retain 50% for the next 2 years, which will make him a $1.67 million player. We are willing to give up our first-round draft pick. We have to give them back some salary cap. Forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me start by overall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Landeskog, Jenner. I'd be willing to give up McBain there for the salary cap. I do like him. He's got the X factor. I don't want to move him. If I give you Anthony Mantha, no. This might be harder than I thought. Do I have any defensemen? Morrison? No, they'd still be... All right, let me try to work out this trade. I won't bore you. I'll cut to the trade we can do. All right, so I was taking a look around. The only thing that's really going to work and the only expendable player off of our team is Jack McBain. I do like he has the X factor, but he doesn't necessarily work on the third line. He more works on the fourth line, so I'm more than willing to make that move. So we're going to try Jack McBain and a first and a second for Ridley Gregg at 50% retained. Will it go through? Trade rejected. Okay. I thought we might have to give up a little bit more. That's okay. I don't want to give up. I could give you Joe Ginla. I wouldn't mind giving you Joe Ginla. I don't want any of these guys with salary cap because you have too little money. So just give me this guy. There, perfect. All right, so Jack McBain, a first, a second, and Joe Ginla for Ridley Gregg. Will it go through? Trade rejected. Okay. I'd be willing to give up next year's first. Let's try to give up next year's second. Okay, value's way on our side. Will it go through? Trade rejected. Okay, it might have to be... I'll give you Fairchild. But I want to keep one of my seconds. All right, so Jack McBain, a first, a second, and Fairchild for Ridley Gregg. Will it go through? Trade rejected still. That retained salary is a pain, but you have so much money. I don't know why. We'll try to give one more second here. Values at least double. Will it go through? Trade rejected. Okay. Why aren't you comfortable retaining salary? Okay. I know this is a lot to give up, but this is a do or die year, and I think Ridley Gregg will really make this team that much better. Even if he's on our third or second line, I don't care. So 2 first, a second, Fairchild and Jack McBain for Ridley Gregg at 50% retained. We'll go through, trade, accept it. Yeah, that retained salary is a pain to get through, but I think that makes our team a lot better. Tamu, no waivers, you can go down. So we gave away a lot for that, but now we take a look at this here. So I'll go through and edit the lines here by myself in a second here, but just to take a look here. So if we move Ridley Gregg, really, that doesn't help us at all chemistry-wise. Look at all this, that preseason jump. Sean Monahan's up to an 83, Mulin's an 86, Coots is an 86. All right, let me work on the lines here, see if I can get some better chemistry, and then we'll get the regular season started. Okay, guys, so I played around with the lines the best I could. Unfortunately, this middle 6, we cannot get the chemistry going. I can't even get a +1 everywhere. They're all two-way forwards and power forwards, which is the unfortunate part. Miles Mulin's the only playmaker, and I don't want to touch our fourth line because that's a +5 there. And these guys are way higher rated, so we're going to go into the season with this lineup. So Jack Hughes, Austin Matthews, Nico Hischier, Ryan Leonard, Michael Hague, and Mulin. Actually, I wanted to switch these guys around because I want to keep Ridley Gregg's ice time up because Michael Hague's expiring. He's an RFA. We can look at trading Michael Hague in the offseason. Actually, no. Then we'll play around with it. Kindle, Coots, and Ridley Gregg, Landeskog, Monahan, and Boone Jenner. Defensively, Quinn Hughes and Jennings, Luke Hughes and Danford. Defense is still the same. Some big jumps there. Power play still looking the same. Power play 2. Yeah, this is looking good. That's getting a +2. Penalty kill. Ridley Gregg's there on the penalty kill now with Boone Jenner, Sean Monahan, Nico Hischier, and Michael Hague and Kindle. And then in the net, we have Lascelles at 91, and Medvedev jumped up to an 88. So we definitely got to look at moving that guy. I feel bad for the man. So let's get the regular season simulation underway. We made a trade to start the season, home ice against the LA Kings. Let's see how we perform in our very first game. We'll do a real-time simulation here, and Kevin Fiala opens the goal scoring on William Lascelles. Alrighty, not the best start to the season, not what I was expecting, but that's okay. Still a close game, halfway through the first period here. Shots are pretty even here. Oh, they're kind of running away with it here at the end of the first. Alright, second period, boys. Where's the offense? We can't get shut out on home ice on opening night. And Brett Clark gets the second goal of the game for the LA Kings. A power play opportunity for us goes nowhere. Come on, guys. Let's not get shut out on home ice on the first night. Where's the boys? Where's all the Hugheses? All right, third period underway. There we go. Ryan Leonard gets the first goal, and Michael Hague. The depth is scoring here today, and Austin Matthews takes the lead there. But Lucas Greentree gets a shorthanded goal, but Austin Matthews answers right back to give us the 4-3 lead here. All right, Lascelles, let's lock this down here. Let's call this a game at 4-3. Maybe we get an empty netter. I don't want to go to overtime. Nice, easy, clean game there. Let's take a look at the 3 stars. Matthews with 2 goals, Michael Hague and Quinn Hughes. Alrighty, so we can just start getting some simulation here done. So let's get the first month done here. So that was a nice win against the LA Kings. Up against the Seattle Kraken, their first game of the season, we lose 1-0. Okay. Defensive start, a 5-4 shootout win, a 5-4 shootout loss, a 5-4 OT win. What is going on here? A 5-2 regulation win already, and a 3-1 loss. So 4-2-1 to start the season. Nothing to really worry about right now. I know we're 4-3 essentially, but if we continue to lose games here, we can make some line changes. I'm not super concerned about winning the Presidents this year. Kindle can now play center. Great. So now we have another center option, which is great, because he had pretty good face-offs. I think they were like 80 face-offs, if I remember correctly, so that's pretty good. Best lines down there in the AHL, that's okay. 6-6-2 already. Boys are slowing down here. We'll take a look at the stats here at the end of the month here. Unless we're on a winning streak here. Yeah, we'll keep it rolling here. We're on a, what is that, a 4-game win streak here. Let's see if we can keep it going. We'll get another month done here. It's still pretty early on, 11-7-2. I just don't like all those regulation losses. I wish we would kind of push some more to overtime. But we're on a 7-game winning streak now. 8 games against the Ottawa Senators. That's 9. Can we make it 10? That's 10 in a row. And now that's a loss against Montreal, a loss against Pittsburgh. That's a 3-0 win. Ben Danford's been injured. All right, I forgot to call up depth. We'll be right back. All right, so we got the injury replacement in there. It's just a couple games here. Ben Danford's back. We'll give him off the Seattle game. We'll just give him off the end of the year here. Let him recover. And your Vancouver Canucks are 22-10-2. That's a lot of regulation losses, but it's good enough for third in our division. Like I said, I'm not looking to win the Presidents this year. We already proved that we can be the best regular season team. So let me get Ben Danford back in there, and we'll take a look at the player stats. All right, so taking a look at the player stats here. So we can just look at our division for right now. So 3.5 goals per game, that's pretty good. Goals against per game, 3.09. I would expect us to be doing better with all of our defensive players. Power play is not clicking, and our penalty kill is not clicking. All right, so maybe we make some line changes here. I'm going to make some line changes. I'll show you what we end up changing. Sorry, guys, we forgot to take a look at the player stats there. So taking a look. Oh, that's not the button I meant to press there. Vancouver, there we go. Forwards. So Austin Matthews, Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier. That first line's magic. Second line, Michael Hague, Leonard, and Mullen, Kindle. Yeah. So our middle six isn't really working out. And that fourth line's really, they're all minuses. Okay, so we got to shake up that there. Defensively, yeah, we can shake up our defensive core too. So I'm going to make some line changes here, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, guys, so we made some line changes here. So first line's going to stay the same. Second line, we're going to go with Kindle, Ridley, Gregg, and Ryan Leonard. Third line's going to be Mullen, Sean Monahan, and Michael Hague. Third line, Landeskog, Coots, and Jennings. So if we don't continue to turn around, we might want to be looking at packaging some of our RFAs for just another sniper. Defensively, we're going to go with Hughes, Jennings. We're going to go with Luke Hughes and Silviev and Danford and Corpian. Get a little bit better chemistry down there. Power play 1's going to stay the same, but power play 2, we put Ryan Leonard in there instead of Jennings. He only had 1 power play point, and that gives us the +5. Penalty kill, we added in our best players. So first line, Nico Hischier, Ridley, Gregg. Second line's going to be Austin Matthews and Sean Monahan. Third line, Boone Jenner and Valerie Kindle. And in the net, we still have Medvedev. Forgot to take a look at their stats. So Medvedev 6-1, and then Lascelles is 16. Horrible stats. Do we turn off automated goalie rotations and see who takes it? Because Lascelles, 9-16. I don't know. I just looking back at that 9-30-2-16 season. I don't know if he's going to get back to that. The team around him hasn't changed much. So let's give it another month or so here. We'll see how those line changes affect the team. So Yeah, let's see how the simulation goes here. So, first game up against Washington here. That's a 4-0 win, followed by a 7-6 loss. Best lines down there in Abbotsford. Like 7-6 loss. That should have went to overtime. 3-2 loss. Why can't we be pushing this game to overtime, guys? We can still score goals, which has never been our problem. But now, like, keeping the puck out of the net here, and we're losing a lot of games in regulation here. But, 28-12, and, I think I'm just used to President's Trophy winning seasons, but lots of injuries down in the AHL this year. It's been looking much better, though, since we made those line changes. I will say we're up to first in our division now. When we climbed up our division, that's a good thing. And, yeah, so since making those line changes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 and 3 since making those line changes, and we're second best in the NHL. 76 is Colorado, and after that, we are second best team in the NHL. So I think I just want to keep the simulation rolling here. We'll go up to the trade deadline here. We'll take a look at the stats again. We'll see if there's anyone looking like they're going to be available here. Like I said, I'm willing to go all in this year. If it's, trading away a Michael Haig or someone to bring in a stud, I do not care this year. Ridley Gregg's been injured till February 18th. That's not too long, so we'll just replace a player in there. That's a 6-0 win. Yeah, he'll be back after that New Jersey game. He is back now, but we'll let him rest. We're winning some games with him out, so I'm not complaining. But we'll stop the simulation there. We'll get Ridley Gregg back in there. I don't want him sitting for too long. Anthony Mantha killing it on second line center there. What did you put up? He's a +1, no points. What was his face-off percentage? 27.5. That is not very good. But Ridley Gregg back in there, my man. And let's finish off this. Let's finish getting up to the trade deadline here. I got 3 more games here. Florida, Toronto, and Tampa. Oh, and a New York game. And a Buffalo game. My bad. I thought we were 1 week ahead. Sean Monahan's been injured till March 2nd. We can just replace a player there. Anthony Mantha will slot in. Sean Monahan's back already. Sean, you can just rest for a couple days here. We're 42 wins at the trade deadline. I'm not super concerned here. We'll get him back in there. Oh, yeah. Mantha, you are turning into a center, my man. Not Boone Jenner, Sean Monahan. Drop back down to an 81. Landeskog's down to a 79. Yeah, I'm hoping that these veterans can help us. How's our AHL team doing? Any good growth down here? Yeah, Samuel Holt, I think, is a bust. Don't have too much hope. He's still 20, but I guess, he was drafted young, so maybe he'll turn back around. So Sean Monahan's back in there. So let's take a look at the player stats here. So the team stats first. Vancouver, first in our division there. 3.82 goals for per game. That's more like it. Goals against, 2.74. That's second best in our division. Power play still only 18%. I don't know what's going on there. Penalty kill, 82. We're winning games, though. So maybe we split up the power play. I'm not too sure. So let's do some pre-scouting here, see who might be available at the trade deadline. We'll hop into that and see if there's any moves to be made. Alrighty, guys, so I did some pre-scouting around the league, kind of seeing who's available here. The thing we have to realize is we only have $2.4 million. So I was taking a look around the league here, And there was one team that caught my eye, the Tampa Bay Lightning. So they're looking like they're going to be missing the playoffs this year. But Connor Geekie. So he is 88 overall, 26 years old, 3.675, no contract extension. I don't care. This guy can walk if he wants to. But he has 2 X factors. He's on a cheap salary, so that's definitely who I want to target in the trade deadline. We'll see if there's anyone else available as well, but that's the plan heading into the trade deadline. So let's hop to the trade deadline. So we're going to be a buyer here heading into the trade deadline here. So I know like Timmy Stützle is available, but that's too much. Matthew Nyes, that's too much money. Connor Geekie's the guy we want to go for. So this is our first move we're going to make first thing in the morning here. Tampa Bay has the money. We're going to retain. It's just one more year. So we gave up a lot of assets to get, what's his name? How's the stats turn around here? 906 to 2.75. That's getting better. Medvedev, 10 and 4, 923, 230. Okay, I don't want to trade away any of them. Forwards, I would have to trade away a forward, I think. Do I? If I just put anyone in there. Like if I put Steven Lorentz in there. Okay. So Tampa's not at the cap floor, which is nice. We are going to have to give up a lot here. So Skater's matching the block here. Jennings, no. Danford, no. Holt. Samuel Holt, you guys want? I'm not going to be re-signing him. Because Curry, that's a playmaker. Robbins, that's a power forward. Yeah, honestly, Samuel Holt, I'd be willing to give that up. That's not going to go through by itself because we have the retained salary in there. But we can give up some draft picks. We'll give up our second next year. All right, we'll see if that goes through here. So Samuel Holt and a second-round pick for Connor Geekie at 50% retained. Will it go through? Trade accepted. Perfect. So we just added a nice piece to our forward core again. Now, is there any defenseman available that could work? Simon Nemec? I think we had this guy at one point in time to replace our other guy there. We have $2 million. So if we get Boston to retain here, we're going. I told you guys we're going all in this year. We're not messing around. So defenseman. I'd have to give you I don't want to give you Corpian because we just got that guy. Machini? Okay, perfect. I can put Machini in there. League's still going to approve it. Now, what do you guys want? Some top 6 guys. They're 80 and 81. Two-way forward, a sniper. I'll give you the two-way forward. I don't need any more two-way forwards on this team. So you can have him. You got to take back a player. Desjardins, that's fine. That's not going to go through how it is. We'll give you a third and a fourth. All right, so Mansion, Pennick, a third and a fourth for Simon Nemec at 50% retained. Will it go through? Trade rejected. Sweeten it just a touch. Okay. 5th round pick. Will it go through? Trade accepted. We'll see you out on the ice. So we just made 2 big We made 2 big trades this year for Connor Geekie and Simon Nemec. So I think we're looking good this year. I don't think there's really any more moves to be made because we don't have the money to make any more moves, I'll tell you that. So our forward core, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or sorry, no, 11, 12. And then Landy can just sit on the bench. And same thing with Mantha there. Defensively, yeah, that's a big, an 86 and 85 on our bottom pair. That's going to be amazing. Yeah, he fits some first and second line perfectly. So, yeah, so let's hop to the line changes. All right, guys, so we edited the lines here. So we're heading into the playoffs. We got Jack Hughes, Austin Matthews, Nico Hischier, Ryan Leonard, Vacal Kindle, Ridley Gregg, Miles Mullen, Michael Haig, and Connor Geekie, Brandon Cooch, Sean Monahan, and Boone Jenner. Our chemistry is just not working on this offensive line, but hopefully the overalls do it. There's so many X factors. Like every line, there's one player that doesn't have an X factor, and we could theoretically, if we really wanted to, we could put in Landy there, and that gives us the +5. But we're gonna go with Coots. He's our guy. He's 84, so we'll run with that. Defensively, Hughes, Jennings, Hughes, Danforth, Sylvia, and Nemec. Power play, so we're going to change it up a little bit. So first line is going to be Jack Hughes, Ryan Leonard, Kindle, Danforth, and Quinn Hughes. The second power play is going to be Hischier, Mullen, Matthews, Ridley Gregg, and Luke Hughes. So we're going to try to change it up. Penalty kills looking pretty much similar. We got Connor Geekie playing the penalty kill, and the goaltendings are the same. So let's finish off the Year 6 regular season simulation here. I almost don't want to win the Presidents this year. Like, maybe we should to get 3 years in a row, but we'll see. I feel like it's not a good sign to win the Presidents. The Presidents Trophy team barely ever wins the Stanley Cup. That's a nice win against Minnesota. The problem is, like, we are a defensive team at times, and then, there's nights where we let in, like, 5 or 4, like, 6-4 loss to Edmonton, a 5-4 win against, just seeing a lot of these same kind of losses in here. But then, we lock it down and we'll allow, like, 1 goal a game for 5 games in a row kind of thing, and then we lose 6-2. Struble, that's fine. 52, 18, and 3. If we had more overtime losses, this record would be, like, our points would be far up there. Like, we're still at 113 points. I think we might have won I think we won the Presidents for the 3rd year in a row. Maybe we can get our 60-win season this year. If we can finish off the last 3 games here. Soderblom's been injured. And can we keep 60 alive? We can. Up against the Islanders and against the Oilers. And the Oilers are going to crush 60. That's okay. So 121 points. Good enough for first in the NHL by a long shot. The Avalanche really tailed off there. Oilers second in our division, though. So our first playoff matchup will be up against the St. Louis Blues. Austin Matthews. I did it. I scored perfect. Great job, Austin Matthews. What is, like, he's gotten a couple of those challenges. Plus, like, what is his shooting at now? '96, '94, '99, '99. Oh my God. 99 offensive awareness, 99 poise. My God, this guy's insane. So let's take a look at the player stats for the year, the team stats, all that good stuff. So entire league, first in the NHL there. 3.93 goals for per game, 2.63 goals against. That's good enough for third. That's okay. Power play, that turned around. Second best in the NHL. And the penalty kill, it's mediocre. It's not great. So that's that. Player stats here. Jack Hughes, 105 points, 46 goals. 46 goals there for Jack Hughes. That's nuts. 59 assists. Austin Matthews, 52 goals, 49 assists. Nico Hischier, almost a 30-goal season, 70 points. Kindle, 54, 52 for Mullen, 48 for Haig. Leonard, 45. Connor Geekie, what did you do with us? You had 6 points in 20 games. Okay. Ridley Gregg, yeah, these guys are kind of all hovering around the same numbers there. Landy didn't have a good season. Boone Jenner didn't really either. Defensively, oh my God, Quinn Hughes. 107 points, 84 assists, 23 goals. His brother, 11 goals, 68 assists. It's crazy that people are still getting points on this defensive core. And then goaltenders, LaSalle 42, 14, and 3, a 906 and a 271. But Medvedev 17, 6 and 0, 925 and a 219. So I am not going to be afraid to go to Medvedev this year at all in the playoffs. So taking a look at the entire league here. What? All skaters. Evan Bouchard won the Art Ross? What? No way. That's insane. 110 points in 76 games played. Quinn Hughes is number 2. My God. That's absolutely insane. I can't believe that. What is his 92 overall? Guess when you're playing with McDavid and Draisaitl there, Jesus. And then goaltenders, Nabokov's probably going to win it. Yeah, LaSalle, you're up there for wins, but not so much the goals against and save percentage here. So playoff tree there. So we have Dallas and Chicago, Colorado and San Jose, Edmonton and LA, and Vancouver versus St. Louis. In the East, we have Columbus and Pittsburgh, Philly and New Jersey, and Florida, Detroit, and Montreal and Buffalo. So some good playoff matchups there. So that's going to be it for this one here. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below if there's any line changes you think we should be making heading into the playoffs here. And until next time, peace.